Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Earlier this year, on October 22nd, 2023, a ceremony was held at the construction of the Ismaili Center, Houston, that was attended by Prince Amin and Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner. As part of the events in Houston, and in special recognition, Mayor Turner awarded the key to the city of Houston to Maulana Hazar Imam. The awarding of a key to a city is an honor traced back to medieval times, when cities were enclosed by fortified walls and guarded gates. The key allowed freedom of entry and exit and was only granted to trusted allies. Today, the gift of a key often represents a city's highest form of recognition, a symbol of respect and gratitude. Keys are typically awarded to those who make significant contributions to their communities. The awarding of the key to the city of Houston was a huge honor. When he accepted the key on behalf of Maulana Hazar Imam, what could Prince Amin say at such a moment? He expressed his happiness and gratitude, and then chose to quote what Maulana Hazar Imam said when he received the key to the city in Porto, Portugal.
I'm going to use these keys to open as many doors as possible. Doors to happiness, doors to peace, doors to unity, doors to human progress.
As we end this calendar year and contemplate a new year, let's be inspired by this beautiful story of keys and opening doors. Let's consider what are some of the doors we might encounter and what keys may help to unlock them. At first glance, we live in a world grappling with challenges: wars, division, increasing global inequities, serious effects of climate change, and individual struggles such as illness, caregiving, and work and school pressures. While these are shared realities that we all have, they all impact us differently depending on where we live, our age, and many other factors such as our economic circumstances. This all may seem bleak. It may also feel like so much is out of our control. However, Maulana Hazar Imam has provided us a different perspective. At Eglon College in 2014, he said, "And you will be asking yourselves how, as nano players on the global scene, you could cause positive change to happen for yourselves, your families, your peoples. My answer is hope. Fortunately, just as fear can be infectious, so hope is infectious. When individuals and families and communities or even nations come together around newfound hope, that new momentum can be unstoppable. Fear of the future is replaced by confidence to respond to its challenges. The actual process of replacing fear with hope rests with every individual in his or her society, and they can become an enormous source of growing strength and reassurance for one another." Maulana Hazar Imam is offering us a path forward. He is inviting us to ignite the torch of hope, inspiring us to take action, whatever action we can. With this perspective, I would like to spend some time today reflecting on opening two specific doors, the door of healing and the door of growth, and consider what keys can we use to open them. Let's start with the door of healing. As we look around, we see wounds in many places, the scars of climate change on our planet, human suffering made worse by fractures and conflicts, and the anxieties that weigh on our own hearts. However, there are also many keys that we may use to unlock healing. Prayer, I believe, is one key to the door of healing. In his recent message to the Global Jamaat on the occasion of his 87th birthday, Maulana Hazar Imam referred to moments of difficulty and rapid change in the world and encouraged us to seek strength and comfort in the regular practice of our faith. Amidst challenges, even the strongest waves, our faith can be a steady anchor. During this most recent birthday, a gift was submitted to Maulana Hazar Imam on behalf of the Global Jamaat, a historic Mughal folio depicting the prayer of Nadi Ali. This prayer is deeply significant in our tariqah. It invokes the grace of Hazrat Ali alayhi salam, through which believers seek spiritual strength, help, and healing. Through our supplications, through our prayers, we seek not just solace, but a wellspring of courage to take action, to help us transform our tears of sorrow to rivers of service. Maulana Hazar Imam reminds us that at the very heart of the faith of Islam is a conviction that we are all born of a single soul. We are spread abroad in all of our diversity, but we share in a most profound sense a common humanity. Common humanity is the seed from which compassion blooms. In addition to the key of prayer, therefore, a second key is compassionate action, recognizing the suffering around us and acting to alleviate it. We all have the responsibility and ability to take action. As Maulana Hazar Imam has said, wealth and power are not objectives in themselves. They are to be used in the service of others. We can continue to be active participants in civil society, offering our time, knowledge, expertise, and resources in keeping with the ethics of Islam. Let us mend fractures with acts of kindness, whether offering a smile or building bridges through dialogue. We can protect our natural environment by taking public transport and reducing waste. For the lonely and struggling, a listening ear or a moment of shared time can make such a difference. And ultimately, healing our own wounds through forgiveness and self-care paves the way for the healing of the world around us. As we look to the year ahead, let us ask ourselves, where can we contribute? Where can we be engaged? May our actions, inspired by and guided by our faith, be vessels of healing, not just for ourselves, but for our communities, our planet, and the common humanity that binds us all. From this door of healing and the keys of prayer and compassionate action, let us now move to the door of growth. Why growth? When I say growth, I mean it in the context of development, of evolution, of betterment, of progress. When we look at nature, living things are constantly in a state of evolution, of adjusting to external factors and acting not only for their survival, but also often for the survival of their future generations. When we look at humans, the pursuit of a better life is a universal desire. We may differ in how we define a better life, what success means, what we yearn for. However, the drive to improve our situation and that of our families and our communities is at the core of almost everything we do. When Maulana Hazar Imam talks to us about progress, he talks about both material and spiritual progress, as both of these aspects of life are intertwined in Islam. So what then are the keys to growth and progress? While there are many, let's look at two. One is commitment to consistent action. Earlier, I spoke about compassionate action, that we must act guided by the ethics of our faith. That action, however, is not effective for real change unless it is combined with dedication. Often, success is not dependent on great talent, but on dedicated effort over time, steady execution. A solitary act of kindness, a fleeting moment of generosity, a few seconds of zikr or remembrance may appear inconsequential, a ripple in the vast ocean. But imagine countless ripples merging, gathering momentum, forming a wave of positive change. It is in the unyielding, dedicated flow of our action, the consistent stream of small acts woven with care in our daily lives, that we forge a more compassionate world and a stronger bond with our Creator. Let us be inspired by the countless little drops of water that over time patiently carve seemingly impenetrable rock. It is the force not of a single moment, but countless droplets over time that reveal the true power of dedicated action. We can do the same, carving a path towards a brighter future, one act of service or one act of devotion after another. So when thinking about the contributions and actions that we could make, how will we commit to making these regular features of our lives in this new year? Whether it is support for those in need, or the actions we will take to reduce our carbon footprint, or the compassionate dialogue we seek to have in our relationships with others, or the renewed commitment to be regular in our attendance in Jamaat Khana, or taking increased time for reflection and remembrance. How will we weave these into our upcoming year? Let us commit to ourselves not to let our works of service or our moments of worship be random, but that they become a permanent feature of how we interact and live in our day-to-day lives. At this time of year, at the eve of a new year, many people talk about the changes they'd like to make in their lives. New goals, better habits like losing weight, exercising, eating better, spending time with family, spending less money or saving more, and the list goes on. Successful execution, however, is not easy. Various studies have tracked the success of New Year resolutions, some finding that nearly 80% of people have abandoned them by the end of January. And as time goes on, that number increases, where only 8% of people keep their resolutions by year end. Fortunately, there is an abundance of research around how to increase our likelihood of success. Examples of techniques to help us keep our commitments include making small steps each month towards a bigger goal, pairing a new activity with something you already do and like, having an accountability system like others doing it with you, and finding a way to make it enjoyable. Here, at the beginning of the year, we may have more excitement and energy to try new things, to take on goals and commitments. But the reality of life is that often There's always something calling on our energy, demanding our time, our attention. Something that presents itself as more urgent, as necessary, and we may be tempted to put off our other goals. We may, in all honesty, simply get distracted. What key might we turn to so that we remain focused on our commitment to dedicated action? Let's look to the example of plants. They are always growing in the direction of sunlight. It is what feeds their growth. And even if other things come in the way, they find a way to reorient themselves in search of that light. The light that feeds them, helps them grow, without which they cannot survive. They are always in search of that light. For us, we often turn to our faith in specific moments of challenge, of needing strength, of celebration, of gratitude. And all of these moments of faith are a blessing. What if we were to strive to keep our faith as something that we remember and turn to, even amidst the hustle and bustle of life? Keeping the love of the Imam in our hearts is a way for each one of us to remind ourselves to care for each other, to care for the world around us, to care for ourselves and our souls. Keeping the love of the Imam in our hearts is a way for each one of us to remind ourselves that we are always supported, always guided, always loved. No matter what is happening in this world, nothing stops or blocks that love.
Love of the Imam knows no physical boundaries. No mountain, no river, no desert can stop the love of the Imam for his Jamaat worldwide. I place my hand on the shoulder of every murid around the world to convey to each one of you, individually, my warmest and my most affectionate paternal, maternal loving blessings.
Keeping the love of the Imam in our hearts is a powerful key. Let us every day remember that the Imam is always with us. Let us keep the presence of the Imam, his guidance, our love and gratitude as something that sustains us, guides us, keeps us on the path of Sirat al-Mustaqim, and inshallah brings us happiness. In this talk today, we have reflected on how we might approach this new year. Some doors we may want to open, such as those of healing and growth, and what keys we may use, such as prayer, compassionate action, commitment to consistent action, and keeping love of the Imam in our hearts. In a world grappling with challenges, let us approach each door with a heart full of hope and a hand full of keys. Let our actions be guided by the ethics of our faith, our unwavering trust in Allah, and our permanent spiritual bond with the Imam of the time, who is with us and guiding us at all times. Let me end with an invitation to reflect on one more door. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ once said, "I am the city of knowledge and Ali is its gate. Whoever wishes to enter the city should enter through that gate." Let us offer prayers for peace and the easing of difficulties around the world, for strength of faith, the wisdom of knowledge, and the courage to act with compassion. May we continue to be united as one Jamaat and offer our shukrana for the blessing of continuous guidance. May this year be one of growth, barakat, and happiness for all. Ameen. Happy New Year to you and your loved ones. Yali Madad.